The crypto monopoly is here, and this video could save your crypto investing career.
I ain't gonna give in now. I ain't gonna live this now. I'm gonna be, man, I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in their ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the win. Cause I am just up on the journey. Just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising. Good evening, warriors all over the world. Excited to be with you guys today on this amazing, amazing day. What the heck is going on with my computer there? There we go. We're ready to rock and roll. I don't edit any of my videos. We get started. My name is Coach JB. I'm here to support you into this new quantum financial system. And this video today, my apologies for that start there. My screen just disappeared, but we're back ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to show you today is, remember, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it. So right now, the World Economic Forum, Davos, is going on. And something interesting is happening. Back a year ago, everybody was at Davos from the crypto companies. But this year, there's only a couple crypto companies, and they have the most panels that they've ever had. So what this is telling you, family, we are now in the crypto monopoly. We are in the boom and bust, just like the dot-com boom. There was all kinds of internet companies, and they all got smashed, came collapsing down. And there was a few companies that came out that are some of the biggest companies in the world that made some people very, very, very wealthy. And the exact same thing is happening right now in the cryptocurrency space. This is by far, from 2023 to 2024, probably the most critical time in your crypto investing career. So listen and pay attention to what I'm about to say and show you about the ecosystem, okay? So we're gonna watch quite a few videos here, and I'm gonna narrate these videos to help you understand what is actually happening in cryptocurrency. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video from CoinDesk. We're gonna listen to the first part of this video. My apologies if things are a little jumbled. There we go. My computer acted really crazy this morning, but we're gonna get right into it, okay? So we're gonna listen to the first part of this video, and I'm gonna go from video to video. So remember, she's about to say something. Last year, there was tons of crypto companies. All of a sudden, there's not a bunch of crypto companies. There's a couple crypto companies there now, but there's the most crypto panels. Let that sink in.
Center in our annual meeting. Last year, 2022, we had 2 crypto sessions, and this year we have 7, several of which have already happened. They've been really engaging and interesting. Yeah.
How would you compare it then? Like in previous years, we've seen more crypto companies on the promenade. You've also, it seems this year is a bit of a muted presence, and we're in the midst of a crypto winter.
So I can't really comment to what's happening on the promenade and why we have the folks that we have here. I can tell you that from the work that we do at the forum, and my work in particular as head of blockchain and digital assets, we are looking at use cases, case studies, usability. And when we talk to entrepreneurs and we are investigating what they're interested in, there continues to be a lot of excitement.
Okay, so key to pay attention to what she said. She said, I can't comment why there's only a couple crypto companies here, but we're focused on the World Economic Forum, basically utility and real world solve. So let's go a little bit further into this, okay? So there's more crypto panels than there's ever been, but there's way less crypto companies that there've ever been. She can't comment why there's only a couple crypto companies there. Think about that. It's an invite only. There's a reason why there's only a couple crypto companies there, okay? So let's dive into this. This is the Circle CEO. Okay, talking to CoinDesk chief, and they're out at Davos. Pay attention.
Founder of Circle. Jeremy, you're in Davos. This is not your first Davos rodeo. You've been here a few times. But I think the context of this one from the crypto perspective is pretty interesting. We're coming out of an extremely difficult moment for this industry. Still a bit of a presence on the promenade here of one of the key players, including Circle right here.
Another key players. Pay attention. They're giving you the blueprint.
But you're coming at this from a pretty different perspective, I would say, than your sort of classic crypto exchange. You, of course, the issuers of USDC, you're stuck in these important conversations about stablecoins, the future of the dollar, the future of fiat currencies. Tell me what your initial reflections are on conversations you've had.
Yeah, I think, like you said, we really come at this from a very different vantage point, which is we've always been interested in how do we take what we think of as traditional money, government debt money, reserve currency money, and how do we express that in digital currency and enable it to transact with the benefits of blockchains, right?
Boom. Debt, liquidity crisis. How do we take that and move it across the blockchain rails? Create liquidity, velocity.
The superpowers of the internet, as I like to say. And, that still resonates, right? Because ultimately that is a conversation about how do we create more utility for the dollar and other currencies like euro? How do we, provide an open programmable surface for money on the internet? And how do we create, regulatory structures and policy structures to support that? And the development of that is like a new global financial market infrastructure. And so that's a very different conversation than, how should we regulate trading exchanges for crypto tokens? And so our conversations are just, I think, very, very different. And they have been over the years. And so, yes, the conversations here are also, what are the reflections? What can we learn, based on either market failures or regulatory failures? There are a lot of ways people talk about that, but for us, this is I think it's a slightly different moment, than for many other actors.
So obviously,
okay. So they're talking about the global regulation, the global changes. Okay, well, let's dive into Circle. Okay, there's only a couple crypto companies that are represented on the promenade, but there's more crypto panels than ever before. Brad Garlinghouse is sitting on those crypto panels discussing crypto regulation. The CEO of Circle. Well, let's dive into Circle here. So Circle, if you jump on here, their selected global partners are BlackRock, BY and Mellon, Coinbase. BlackRock and Coinbase are connected through Aladdin, MasterCard, MoneyGram, Plaid, Visa. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. And we know that Coinbase selected BlackRock to provide Aladdin clients access to crypto trading and custody via Coinbase Prime. Also, Aladdin is designed to move into zero carbon investing. BlackRock, Larry Fink, CEO's mission, he's on the board of directors for the World Economic Forum, the board of trustees. His mission is to move the mission forward of the World Economic Forum. So let's back up to this video. So the young lady said, yeah, we only have a couple crypto companies here, but we have more crypto panels. Interesting, right? Last year was the destruction of crypto. Now it's the monopolization of crypto, the normalization and the regulation, and then industry money comes in. Commercial money comes in, okay? With things like this, where he's tokenizing debt, tokenizing the stock market. The biggest change in human history and our financial history is coming. So we know who Circle's connected to now. We know Coinbase is connected to BlackRock through Aladdin, okay? And here's Brad Garlinghouse. Once again, we'll watch him. He's sitting with regulators. This panel was interesting. This lady was, she drove me crazy. But here's Brad Garlinghouse once again talking with regulators.
Now, Brad, you have already made the distinction between XRP, the token, and Ripple, the company. You are the only, you're a regulated entity, or you're speaking on behalf of a regulated entity. When folks talk about, these different sorts of provisions, you are the person or your various teams doing the paperwork, providing evidence of baseline trustworthiness. What is it like to be a non-bank financial services provider operating at the intersection of these very traditionally regulated financial institutions and less traditionally regulated, less traditional financial institutions?
It's exciting. I feel a obligation to advocate for. There are these new technologies that we can use for the betterment of economic value to our citizens, to our businesses, even to central banks. And I think to the extent we can focus on, hey, these are new technologies that can be used in that way. Like the earliest days of the internet, can these technologies be used in illicit ways? Yes, and certainly we saw the early days of the internet, and people called for bans of the
And to be
internet.
clear, the current days of the internet as well.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Although there was a much louder, higher decibel level call in maybe the 90s when people were, I think, more intimidated by how these technologies are being used. And I think we're seeing that play out in the world of blockchain as well. I thought it was interesting you described the UAE regulatory as light touch.
So it's described as light touch.
Oh, described as light touch, all right. I actually give huge credit to the UAE.
Do you have a VARA license?
No, we do not. Although we might, I don't know the exact answer to that, but we do not currently. The point I would make, though, is...
You do not.
Thank you. The point I would make, though, is the UAE has done the work to codify what the regulations are. I think the challenge, and we discussed this before.
Okay, so we watched this video this week, but I just wanted to, it's just nice to see Brad sitting there with these regulators, and this facetious lady who keeps shooting back at him, CEO of Circle's there, and only a couple crypto companies are there. But last year, a bunch of crypto companies were there. Isn't that interesting? Were they not invited back? Why weren't they invited back? Because now we're into the monopolization and regulation. And let's not forget, Circle, Coinbase, BlackRock are all connected. Ripple is with Bank of America. Ripple is one of the largest, I believe is going to be one of the largest crypto companies in the world. My opinion only, okay? Now, we're going to watch this video, okay? Now, Business Insider, this is from Layla from Business Insider. Now, number one, I like her a lot. She's a great person. She interviewed me before. I got blasted by this weird. She was awesome. She, interviewed me for Business Insider, and then you guys saw the FUD article the Business Insider did on me. So still have love for them. And so, people are probably like, why are you showing a Business Insider thing? But I think she does a great job, and she does a phenomenal job explaining to these newscasters cryptocurrency where we're at. So big shout out to Layla, not big shout out to Business Insider because they put me on blast, but I still love you guys. Here we go.
Fewer cryptocurrency companies are on display at the World Economic Forum in Davos as the industry recovers from a rocky 2022. This year's forums has also featured less advertising than in previous years. Layla Maiden is here in Studio 57 with us to break this all down. She's an investing correspondent for Business Insider.
So again, the reason why I'm showing you this is to recap all that together. Did you hear what he said? There's less advertising with crypto companies because all the bullshit's done now. The pump and dumps are done now. Now it's real, intrinsic, intelligent investors in crypto that are going to survive and thrive big time. But you got to have a game plan when this thing goes parabolic.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Did I say your name right?
You did, yes.
Okay, I always want to make sure because, it's important to get somebody's name right. As someone who has a name that is often difficult to pronounce. So what's the significance of this, what's happening in Davos and these forums that are linked to the crypto industry?
Well, it's very significant because when we talk about crypto, we're really talking about blockchain technology, which is this underlying layer that's being added to the internet that decentralizes the way we use the internet. So you and I can interact peer-to-peer rather than going through a bank or a social media platform giant. And a lot of this technology is going to help even with cross-border transactions between countries. So when world leaders go to Davos to discuss, what's on the agenda, it's important for these crypto projects to be there to explain what types of solutions they can bring. And so one of the major themes this year was the tokenization of real world assets, such as government bonds and real estate being registered on a blockchain, ownership on a blockchain in a decentralized manner, and what that can do for society in general. For example, Filecoin is another company. They announced that they were going to be creating a decentralized storage system in space with Lockheed Martin. So this technology has a lot of implications beyond just all the negative headlines that we're seeing on the investing side of it. So if I could break it down for you a little more, think of it like this. So in the world of stocks, you have the stock and you have investors and traders that are trading stocks for profit. And then you have real companies behind these stocks that have real solutions, that have real customers. So what's going on in Davos now is we're seeing the real projects behind.
Boom. She's crushing it. Layla, good job. You're seeing the real companies with true intrinsic values now at Davos.
Behind it. While the cryptocurrency side, a lot of the times we talk about investors and traders that are trading for a profit. So they're very different things, but they are linked the way that stocks are linked to their companies. I hope that breaks it down.
Yeah,
That
it does
actually.
Very illuminating.
Speaking of that, though, you got to think that some of what's happening there is trying to like clean up the PR mess. Because for the rest of us, all we know about cryptocurrency, at least recently, is there seems to be bankruptcies. We've, Sam Bankman-Fried. And now, like, I'm reading about this other crypto exchange, Bizlato. The Justice Department announced that they've arrested a man, accused him of being processed over $700 million in illicit funds. That sounds massive to me, $700 million, but then I hear about billions of dollars missing in cryptocurrency. But then even in sort of, even though we're talking about millions, hundreds of millions and billions, in the grand scheme of things, it's hard for me to understand how much of an impact these arrests have.
Well, they have an impact in two ways. On the crypto market, especially because there's not a lot of trading volume right now. So an exchange being stopped or shut down, not only does it halt certain transactions, but it also spooks investors. And so we did see Bitcoin and Ethereum plunge by 2 to 3% within a day. But also it sends a message to anyone that entered this space earlier on before government sort of came in and understood what was going on, to say that if you are committing a crime, even if it's in the blockchain sector, we're catching up and we're understanding how this is going. So actually the language that the Department of Justice used around this arrest was encouraging for the crypto market, because instead of saying that they're coming after the crypto market in general, they said that they're coming after people that are taking advantage of the crypto market for their crimes. And so the crypto community was saying, okay, this is great because it sends a message that the government understands the difference between the amazing technology and people that are taking advantage for bad practices.
Boom. Okay, guys, do you hear what I'm saying with this? Okay, do you hear what I'm saying with this, family? We are now in the regulation and adoption. Okay, I've been saying this from 2020, 2025. Most banks will be custodying your cryptocurrency. Ripple will be a bank, in my opinion. Okay, Coinbase will be a bank. You can already direct deposit your check into Coinbase, family. You have a debit card from Coinbase. Crypto.com has a debit card. Coinbase is fully going to be a bank. Okay, eventually, I believe that the FDIC insurance will insure your cryptocurrency up to a certain amount. Everything is becoming normalized right now. When everybody is fearful, just like Layla was saying, everybody's fearful, that's when you should be greedy. When everybody is greedy, when the bull market hits after the Bitcoin halving in 2024 to about 2025, you should be fearful in pulling profits and building a plan. We can support you with the community, Warrior Academy, 7 days for free in 2023, link below. Also, guys, Ripple is going to IPO. They are going to IPO after the case Brad Garlinghouse said. Pre-IPOs are very hard to get into, but Link 2 has democratized private financing. So if you are an accredited investor, you can get into companies like Link 2, PolySign. David Schwartz from Ripple created PolySign. You can get into PolySign, Ripple, pre-IPO. If you click the link down below, you do have to be an accredited investor. And we're very thankful to Link 2 for the support of our warriors. And they've been a sponsor of our channel. We're very grateful for that. It's a great opportunity for you to dive into it. Now, even if you're not an accredited investor, start to dive into those companies and you can start to look at what unicorns are. You can look at Mosaic scores and really dive into how they value companies, which is super, super important. So everything you need is description down below. Sign up for private coaching with me. You can go through an interview process to see if you qualify. Okay. You can get right into our Warrior Academy, 7 days for free in 2023. Okay, you can get into our conference coming up. If you buy a ticket to X Royalty, you get into our virtual conference, our online virtual conferences. That'll give you access every single time. You also get the opportunity to buy a ticket to our private conference here at the Warrior Academy. There's so many opportunities for you to connect with our community. Remember, in 2023, your vibe is going to equal your tribe. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Everything is in the description down below. As we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.